First up, we'll tell you about a fierce encounter presently underway in Jammu and Kashmir's Budgam. Dramatic images of the encounter has been caught on camera. Security forces and terrorists are engaging in this heavy exchange of fire, and we're showing you the visuals of those dramatic pictures coming out of that present encounter. Two terrorists are believed to be holed up inside this building, and security forces in fact have even confiscated a car which was being used by the terrorists during the attack. So this is the images that you're seeing of that fierce encounter that is presently underway. I'm going to go straight across now to Shuja Ul Haq for more on the encounter and for more details and updates. Shuja, over to you. Just tell us what's happening.
Well, Avantika, the operation is still on. What we are given to understand as an update is that unfortunately there was a civilian who was injured in this entire operation, and he has now succumbed to his injuries. He's a young boy from the area. Now, as far as the operation is concerned, the cops are telling us that they're still, cordoning off that particular house. There is a huge gunfire that has been reported since early morning. In fact, in these visuals that we are playing out, you can see how explosions like that of grenades are, very, very clear and visible in these pictures. As of now, that's the information we are getting. The operation is still on. One militant is believed to be holed up inside this 3-story building in Chadora, not very far away from Srinagar city's outskirts.
So you just mentioned that the encounter which is presently underway is happening in an area, Chadora, in Kashmir's Budgam district. Can you just tell us the layout of this area, Shuja, and this residential house where the terrorist is taking shelter in? Just give us more details about the area.
Well, Avantika, like I was pointing out, the area is called Chadora. It falls in Budgam district. It's not very far away from the outskirts of Srinagar city. About 20 odd kilometers from the from where Srinagar city ends. Now, the encounter began early morning when there was input about the presence of these militants. Earlier, there was information about 2 militants being hiding. Now, we are given to understand by sources that it is only 1 militant who is constantly engaging these security forces in a gun battle. Like I was pointing out earlier, the update, the breaking news update in this entire story is that one civilian who was injured had been rushed to hospital, has succumbed to his injuries. So that piece of unfortunate news there, and the operation, as far as the encounter is concerned, is still on. Okay, stay with me. Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant is also joining us from the newsroom. Gaurav, what is it that you're hearing from your sources? Shuja, of course, just giving us a laydown of all the information that he had one injury, and we can just see the dramatic visuals and the booming sound of those huge explosions that we're getting to witness outside that house.
Avantika, there was very specific intelligence on the basis of which the security forces mounted this operation. In fact, they laid a siege to this place. This is a very palatial house. It's a little distance away from the houses, from other houses in Budgam. This is where the terrorists came in. The initial information was that these are 2 local Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists. Then there was an information input that came into Jammu and Kashmir police that probably that was also a Lashkar terrorist, and that is where the army, the CRPF and the JKP mounted a joint operation. Now initially they attempted on a loudhailer to get these terrorists to come out and surrender, also because the house had been surrounded from all sides by security forces. But that is where some of the locals, they came and they apparently tried to obstruct operations in that gunfight that ensued, and where we can see that gunfight is still on in this area. That is where apparently a civilian was hit by a stray bullet. What the information now is between 1 and 2 terrorists, and they're firing from different locations in this house. That is why security forces, they've cordoned off this complete area. And now what they're doing is, one, they're asking these people to come out. They have visuals inside, and they're hoping either the terrorists surrender or they will have to be neutralized.
Absolutely. And Shuja, so from your sources and what you are witnessing right now, we believe, as you just mentioned, that one terrorist is believed to be taking refuge inside this particular house. How big is this house? I can see number of rooms. It seems to be quite huge and quite vast, the area. Will the security forces be entering into each room and door and checking where exactly is this terrorist?
Well, Avantika, like it is very clear in these visuals, it's a 3-story house, it's a concrete building and a residential house. Even before the encounter began, those people who were living in the house were evacuated. Now we are believing that it's only the militant who is there and is constantly engaging the security forces. As Gaurav was pointing out, initially there was a chance given out for this militant to surrender, but apparently he has not sort of paid heed to that, and that's why, as we have been witnessing for past more than 6 hours now, that this gunfight is raging on. Avantika, it's important to mention the bigger picture here. The elections in these areas, both Srinagar as well as South Kashmir constituencies, are going to happen in next week or so. That makes it the entire thing very, very concerning. Since past 2 or 3 days, we are seeing at least 3 or 4 such incidents of militancy that have happened in these areas, which are concerning the security forces. And that's perhaps the reason why they have also upped the ante when it comes to counterinsurgency operations like these ones.
Absolutely. Shuja, thanks so much for joining us. Gaurav, I'll just also request you to stay for the next story.